This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, Baruch Haba, welcome everyone. We continue in Mishna Berura. So today we're learning Siman Yud Aleph Seif Beis. We learned in Seif Aleph that strings have to be spun lishman, which means you need to articulate in the beginning of the spinning that you're doing in the Shem Tzitzis, and machshava may not help. If in the beginning you thought, and later on you said, then we could use the svek sveika that it works. But otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Seif Beis, Teva Nachri, if a Gentile spun it, v'Yisrael Oimed al Gabai, and the Jew standing over him, v'Oimer, and he's saying, Sheyas Lishman, do it Lishma. Can you supply kavana, Lishma, to a Gentile? Laharambam pasal. According to the Rambam, it's pasal. Laharash kosher. According to the Rush, it's kosher. According to the Rambam, it's pasal. According to the Rush, it's kosher. Hagav v'noigin sheisayeh yisrael ma'at. The minhag is have a Jew help a little bit. V'chadisol lekaman siman lamed beis Seif tes u'v'yaradeh siman reish ayin aleph gabei tefillin the Sefer Torah. What we do is we have the Jew help out a little bit, like we say by tefillin and Sefer Torah. Okay, let us see the Mishna Berura. Nachri utvias cheirei shayed v'kadim mahani kishol gadol oimer al gabam u'melamdam lasas l'shma. This machlekes Rosh and Rambam, that according to the Rosh is good, according to the Rambam it's not, that's by a Gentile. What about someone without das? Does it help with the gadol oimer al gabam? Ayin b'siman tav samach b'beis Yosef sheyesh plukta b'zeh. Look in Siman tav samach in the Beis Yosef that there's machlekes. V'ayin b'bir halacha shebiyarnu haskamas hachroinim b'zeh. Look in the bir halacha what the haskama of the achroinim is. Now, the Bir Halacha says, Mikol Zeh Nimtzin Lamedin, to give it to Ketanim, it does not work. It doesn't work. Moreover, since Teviyah Lishma is Dairaisa, you can't even give it to a Bar Mitzvah boy. Because normally, a Bar Mitzvah boy, you have to rely on Chazaka. You could only rely on Chazaka for the Rabbanans, not for the Dairaisa. The reason why a kid, a Bar Mitzvah boy, could lay in his Parsha is because Kriyas Torah is the Rabbanan. But he can't lay in Zachar. So the same thing, he can spin Tzitzis. However, the Bir Halacha says, B'di'eved, it could be Ein Lahachmir, because you could rely on Chazaka, B'di'eved. And if Yisrael Oimer al Gabav, okay, you could be lenient. Oimer al Gabav, says the Mishna Berura of Katan Tes. Ayin b'ber halacha shekosavnu dedavke im hatvia einen nimshachas kolkach. You know when oimer al gaba helps? That's if the spinning does not take so long. Aval matvia nimshachas zman harbe. But if the tvia is prolonged, az nira, it would seem that afil Rush, even according to the Rush, loimahani b'mashalim lo'oive gilum b'tchilas hatvia sheyas l'shma. It's not going to help by teaching the guy in the beginning of the spinning to do it l'shma. If the tviyah is nimshachas, then it's not going to help to teach him to do in the beginning. Certainly if there's a break in the action, the fact that you showed him what to do in the beginning will not allow it to be continued to be done lishman. We just had this in the Gemara in Yavamis. The Gemara was talking about can you have a katan put out a fire for you? So the Gemara says it's a problem because he's doing adaite de aviv. So the Gemara asks, the kavasei gabe nachri, he's also doing adaite of the Jew. So the Gemara says, no, we have a klal. There's a klal, goyim act with their own agenda. Even though they know you want something, they don't do things for you. They do things because it's for them. They do it because it's good for them. That's a general principle. Goyim adaita denafshe aved. So if there's a break in the action, or let's say for instance, it's a prolonged tviyah, it's not going to help that you stood over them in the beginning. Pasul. Why does the Rambam say it's pasul? The Rambam holds goyim do it for themselves. They're not going to listen to that which the Jew tells them to do it lishma. But laharash kasher, according to the Rosh, it's kasher. Why according to the Rosh is it kasher? Because this is a ritual matter. They're not making strings for themselves. In general, if a guy puts out a fire or they do some other kind of act, maybe they stand to benefit. But if it's just for the sake of a mitzvah and you're standing over them, so the Rosh would say you can rely on that. If you don't have a Jew to do it, yesh lisma, because they can rely on the Rosh. But otherwise not. The Gra says Toysis and the Mordechai also go like the Rambam. So what's the minhag? The minhag is let the Jew help out, and that would be effective. So somebody wrote, what about a machine? I mean, this is not just an isolated question regarding tzitzis. This might apply by, let's say, matzah or other things where something has to be lishma. So, l'chayra, it's very hard to know from anything that the Rishonim say what would the halacha be by a machine. On the one hand, the Yisrael is having kavanah and he's turning on the machine. On the other hand, the machine is not a kli, is not capable of being supplied with das. Machines don't do it adaita denafshe, Rabbi Yeager says. But you could say machines also don't do it adate denafshecha. They're also not thinking. They don't have their own das, but they're not having your das. In other words, you can't supply your das to it. Okay, I don't have my Dirsha Mishna Berura on me right now. The minhag is that the Jew helps out. This only works according to the Rosh. According to Rambam, it's not going to help that you help them a little bit. This minhag is just, it makes things a little better. So it's interesting. Helping only works in the world of the Rosh, and in the world of the Rosh, you don't really need to help. If the Jew's not standing there, then if the Jew's not there, the fact you helped him a little bit does nothing. If you're clearing the table and the kid comes along and brings in the orange juice and puts in the fridge, they didn't do anything. I mean, you could say thank you so much. Misayeh is nothing. Either you do the job or you don't do the job. I mean, you can make them feel good, but we hold Misayeh ein by mamish. Okay, so the bottom line is it's machlokes rishonim whether you could supply a guy with kavana. The Rosh says you can. According to the Rosh, it's better to help them. B'shas hadchak, you can rely on the Rosh. However, Mishna Berura says better not to, because Tosfos and the Mordechai side with the Rambam that goyim adaitoi denafshe ka'avid. We'll try to look into machines, and I'm going to wish you a great day. Bracha v'hatzlacha. Okay, kol tov. So here's the schedule. Tomorrow, Monday, B'siyata D'Shmaya 9 o'clock. Tuesday, B'siyata D'Shmaya 9 o'clock. Followed by the following Wednesday. So we're out Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days. But we'll be on par. Okay? We're ready. Right now we're 4 days ahead. We're a blot ahead. Okay? Shkoyach everyone. Bracha v'hatzlacha. Kol tov. What?
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.